Well, as I like to say, we're all a victim of our own experiences, and as I look back at my career path, while it seemed a little unusual as it was happening, it all makes sense to me now as I'm towards the end of my career. I started out as an engineer because of my interest in math and science. I'm a chemical engineer by training, and I worked for a big company for a number of years. I was in the plant. I did design work as an engineer. I did tech service in a plant. I sold product out in the marketplace. I did market planning, market development, and eventually moved on to several smaller companies that were privately held. So I have big company experience and I have smaller company experience. About a quarter of the way into my career, I realized that I was much more interested in the marketing and sales and strategy part of the business than the technical side, although I do like the technical side. So I went back to school and got an MBA, and that opened up a lot more opportunity to me to get involved in the strategy aspects of running a business. And in the long run, it was probably what led me to eventually want to be, my own boss. So after making a couple of lifestyle decisions about where to live and what kind of, corporate culture environment I wanted to work in, I finally wound my way to, in 2005, taking the plunge, if you will, and started on my own. And I enjoy it because at the heart of it, I am an entrepreneur, and I guess I always have been. It just it took me a while to figure it out. And I think part of that entrepreneurial spirit is the willingness to see when things need to be fixed and having the courage to do what's required to change them and implement that change. And sometimes being a change agent inside another organization is difficult to do. But when you're on your own, you have no one to be accountable to but yourself. And if you're, if you've got the courage of your convictions and you see something that needs to be done, you go for it. And that's what this product represents for me and my company. It's really unique, it's better, and even though there's a certain level of discomfort in people embracing the idea initially, once they take a look at it, the technical simplicity and superiority of the properties becomes clear, and the product speaks for itself. The toughest part of my business is to convince people of the concept and to take the chance to look at it. But once they do, once you get in the plant and see it work on the equipment, you realize it really is better. And in addition to being better, you do not need to modify your equipment in any way to run it, which is another big plus. Minor adjustment, a couple of operating conditions, and it works flawlessly. And any time I think that you want to get people to make a change, as long as there's no investment involved, it's a lot easier to make that happen. They don't need to buy any equipment or make any changes to their equipment. So stronger, better, saves money, no changes in the equipment. It's a very positive overall approach to doing business. And the other part of it is, despite the fact that it's sometimes hard to calculate, there are other aspects of the product that are also valuable, what I like to call soft savings. You can calculate a yield improvement and translate that into dollars and cents very easily, but it's a little bit more difficult to identify what the savings are for reduced energy consumption or lower shipping costs or more machine uptime. These are all benefits that come along with the product and that are secondary to the initial value, which is you use less film and therefore it costs less money to make your product. But they're there nevertheless, and they can be calculated. And that's all part of value selling, because most people just look at the price of the invoice. And anybody that takes a overall view of purchasing knows there's a lot more in cost than just the price on the invoice. Did it run well on the equipment? Did it generate more scrap? You know, did the machine go down? Did your product get delivered on time, or was it late? You know, there's an all-in cost of doing business, and that's part of this value selling, that we have to define what that value is so the customer understands the benefits that we're bringing. And it's that part of it's hard work, but it's worth doing, because once you convert a customer and you know, they embrace you as a partner, it's very gratifying. And that gets back to the entrepreneurial part of it. Your customers really become your friends, and you develop a relationship with them. It's so much more satisfying than just transactional business.